Hello, and welcome to WUBRG Weekly. I'm Josh Kiesler.
I'm Eric Alba.
And I am Colin Hart.
Yay! So we are looking at episode 5, and today we are going to go over a couple interesting things. First off, we're going to go over some tournaments. Really just one that we really want to go over.
Yep.
That had some big stuff going on. Then we're going to go over some news, and then lastly spoilers, and then we're going to crack a pack. So, tournament we want to go over. There was quite a few these past 2 weeks. Some of them not as big a deal, kind of standard stuff going on. Agreed? Nothing really new going on standard.
Yeah, the most notable thing was the Star City Invitational for the third part of their yearly extravaganza. It ended. The Invitational was won again by Tom Ross, who was playing Byrne, and it's funny because he won the last Invitational, which is huge. That's just insane. So Rabble Red's a big thing in standard, and that's really the only notable thing. There's just been a different, like, mono blue's still good, black white mid range is still good, mono black's still good. We know that. So standard's going to be different really soon. So we're going to look into formats that are different. So
yeah. So what we're going to look over is GP Kobe, so Grand Prix Kobe. It was a modern tournament, and looking over what kind of decks there were, I guess flabbergasted, astounded, something like that. We'll start at the bottom. If that's okay. I'm quite amazed. We'll start at the bottom, and this one's not so too exciting. It's just kind of normal. For the bottom two was Twin Exarch. So
Bottom two, meaning the two of the four that tied for fifth.
Right. Two of the four that tied for fifth was just Twin, Splinter Twin. I'm not sure. If,
good old Splinter Twin.
Good old Splinter Twin. See, I'm looking here, and they're not even Tarmo Twin. They're just Splinter Twin.
Well, the one in seventh is Tarmo Twin.
Yes, yeah, you're right. So we got Tarmo Twin, and then we just have Twin, which is both of which is really cool. So, but I don't think I've seen a Twin deck this high recently, so that's kind of nice. How about you? And Eric doesn't pay attention, so
I don't pay attention to Modern. I know nothing about Modern.
Yeah, it's what I notice here. It's great. They're two twin decks, and that's where they're similar, but they're actually extremely different. One's Tarmo Twin, one is not. And the other interesting thing about it is the 8th place guy, a notable name, Yuki Ichikawa, the same guy that top 8 of the last 2 Pro Tours. He's good. He's one of the best players in the world, and he's showing it every single week, which is pretty sweet.
Okay. All right. So then in 6th place, we got Scape Shift. I've always liked this deck a lot. It's cool to see some more decks coming around. Yes, Colin? Any notes on that?
Yeah, Scape Shift, it's always been like tier 2, tier 1. It's kind of an outlier. It just works on a different front than everything else, and that's why it's cool. Not a whole lot you can do to stop it aside from like a Blood Moon. Even then, they could probably beat you. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like Scape Shift a lot.
And so we had a friend. So we went to a modern tournament this past Saturday. It was a TCG Gold event, and we had one of the people from our group played Scape Shift. So he needed beat decently. He went 3-3, right?
He got like 17th, 18th, something like that. Out of like 42. So I mean,
I got 18th because I got 17th. So
yeah,
just shy of getting 16. All right, so then we have. Sorry, go ahead.
That's I'm not saying you're good.
Yeah, okay. So then in 5th place, we have our first burn deck. So we have one later in our listing, so we're going to go over this one first. They're got a few differences, not terribly different. You know, it's a burn deck. They burn you. That's what they do. 20 lands, 20 lands, creatures, and then your burn sweep. You got these ones. Both of them actually are playing a splash of white. I know the one is playing it for Lightning Helix and Boros Charm. I believe it's the same thing for the other one.
Yep. Should be.
This is interesting to see these. First of all, at all to see these in top 8. I feel like a lot of people considered Burn to be a tier 2 deck in Modern.
Yeah, that's funny because it's really like it's one of those decks that at the right time in the right room it can catch you by surprise and just take over a tournament. Especially now because the best card in the deck, I know that from experience. The best card in the deck is Eidolon Great Revel. Eidolon Great Revel is just the best card. It takes over a game single-handedly. So
yeah. For those
burn decks need things that can do that. That's really what they were missing is one card that can just kind of take over. So.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Eidolon Great Revel is a 2-cost enchantment creature, and it's whenever a player, including you, plays a spell, period, that is 3 or less converted mana cost, they take 2 damage.
Right.
A lot of people thought that card was kind of working backwards for the burn player because they're playing. That's all they're doing is playing spells that are less than 3 mana cost. But the point of it is that you burn them faster than you're taking damage from your own spell, basically, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. Well, the point of it is you're trading 3 damage for 2, because most of the spells you have in a burn deck are going to deal 3 or more damage. So you're essentially just trading your 3 damage for 2 for yourself, plus everything that they do also hurts them, so they should be dead before you are, ideally.
Right. I mean, they're already shocking themselves and pinging themselves with their lands, so it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, especially in a format where almost everything is 3 or less mana. So.
What are your thoughts on the fact that they're splashing white? I mean, I know we talked about this.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. There's Boros Charm and Lightning Helix are 2 of the better burn spells. I put it brings a different angle. I think it's fine. It's really just your preference. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we're going to move on then to 4th place. This is a blue-white mid-range deck. So you got Restoration Angel, Blaze Splicer, Vanillion Click, Snapcaster, and then a whole sweep of other control spells: Electrolyzes, Lightning Helixes, Splashing Smite in there, Lightning Bolts, Remands, Path to Exiles. Is this a deck that's been? Can't say I remember seeing a deck like this before, but I'm sure it's been around-ish. Yes.
Yeah, these were popular 2-3 years ago more, and since then people have been going more into different angles, and blue-white red has kind of taken the turn for control decks and a lot less tempo. Like this deck is kind of taking that, but it's certainly adaptable. I think this deck it has a little bit of everything in it. It's got the control aspect with all the counter spells and burn spells and whatever, but also has the capacity to just out of nowhere just take the reins and go aggro. If you want to just like play Blade Splicer and then Restoration Angel, all of a sudden you've got 7 power on board or 10 power on board, and then you're just going and killing them out of nowhere. So I can see how this deck did really well. It seems really good.
All right. So yeah, it definitely looks pretty good. I mean, you got a whole sweep of really good control cards, really good creatures. They're just I'm actually just quite amazed at how Blade Splicer isn't worth more than it is currently. Just because it's actually used fairly commonly in decks like this deck, as well as like some Hate Bear decks. So
Yeah.
all right, so moving on. Third place.
It's good.
Oh, you good? All right, so in third place we have Green Red Tron.
Yes.
So I'm looking at this. It's a typical Tron deck. You know, you got your Urza lands, and you got your stuff looking for them. I can't remember the last time I've seen though in a top 8 Tron. So that's what it's got. That's what's interesting to me.
It's interesting. I think that generally, I prefer playing green red because it's just more fun and it's more my style.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm used to seeing the blue Tron decks generally are the ones that are top 8ing and doing stuff.
Right.
And I think that the deck is actually better. I think the blue Tron is actually probably a better deck. But green red Tron, and once again, I mean, in the right scenario, can just take over. And I love playing it just because if your opponent lets you do what you want to do, you just take it out. Like it's the best deck for your opponent not stopping you. I think if you're in a room full of people doing their own thing and not paying attention to your opponent, this deck is the one that you want to play.
Right.
Yeah. I'll say, I bet a lot of people when they see Urza lands first come onto the board, they're instantly thinking they're instantly worried about counter spells and stuff like that. So it's granted that they don't see any blue, they have no reason to be, but people are working the mindset that they have to worry about later down the road control spells and stuff like that. So they probably works to their disadvantage a little bit because they're expecting a different deck.
Yeah, the deck looks a lot like I think Tron has kind of taken a different turn. Like people are building Tron decks differently now. This looks like a Tron deck from like a year ago.
Yeah, it does.
Just like the last deck was like a deck from like a year or two ago. This is the way they were building it a year ago, and it's still really good.
Yeah,
so. It's
definitely interesting because like the Japanese meta just tends to be very different, and
yeah.
Really what the Japanese meta is that they're actually usually ahead of whatever we're doing, like in America or the rest of the world. And so it seems like what they see in our meta is maybe just like, hey, their meta is actually so bad that we can just take our older decks and they beat out what's currently good in the current meta.
Right. Yeah, this is pretty stock list. This is about the way I would build it. I'm interested, like, there's Pyroclasm. Pyroclasm is a card that, like, I don't think is that good. Like, it's a good card, but there are better options.
Right.
Like, in every deck I'm playing Pyroclasm. I used to play Pyroclasm and I play Anger of the Gods. I understand that's probably not a thing with this deck, but you have stuff like, I forget what it's called, but there's one that it's red or green. It's to deal 3 to each non-flyer or flyer. So like you could do that instead, but in Oblivion Stone, I want to see people playing Perilous Vault because that card is awesome in Tron, and it's just better than Oblivion Stone.
Yeah,
it's just better. So
is that the one?
I want to see that happen.
Colin.
What?
Is that the one from M15?
Yeah. It costs 1 more than Oblivion Stone, like at first. But it exiles everything, and that's huge. Like Oblivion Stone destroys it, and there's a lot of things that stay. Perilous Vault is a catch-all thing, so I like it better. That's just me.
All right. We'll move on then to second place. Tarmo Infinity. So one of the discussions going around recently is just like, okay, this is an Infinity deck that just adds Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. This is just so funny that like This is what it's come down to. Tarmogoyf is such a good spell, such a good creature. You can literally throw it in any deck, and it just gets better. Granted, this deck is a lot different than your affinity lists. It's got a lot of things that you normally wouldn't see.
So we're seeing Shrapnel Blast and Insult Artifact, which we hadn't seen before.
Right. Yeah, it's taking a different turn, and I don't know if this is like way ahead of where we are, or just like he just got lucky, put together a deck that was just kind of crazy, and it kind of worked out for him. I'm not sure. But I think people are going to want to try this now, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it worked out for him. Like you said, yeah. People were definitely looking at this deck and going, like this. People were talking about this deck this past weekend, and like mentioning how what they thought of it, what they think how it could do. So that I think someone actually even played this deck at our tournament on Saturday. So I don't think we saw him. I don't think he did very well, but
yeah, I don't think so.
How'd you do, by the way, Colin?
What? How did I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I got 9th.
So once
Pretty good.
One away from top 8 though.
Yeah.
So
I was off by .06.
That's rough.
If I had an opponent that dropped early on, if he hadn't dropped, that would have made top 8. But that's irrelevant. So yeah, this deck is interesting. We'll just say that.
I think it's probably the most interesting deck on the list.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check that out, go to MTG Top 8 and just look for Grand Prix Kobe, and you'll see all those. Anyways, and so our last deck is just, we kind of mentioned before, it's another burn deck. It's splashing white for Boros Charm, and I'm actually looking at this, and I do other. No,
What? I don't.
no, I'm looking for lightning.
That's it.
It doesn't play lightning.
That's it.
It literally only plays that.
It plays white for Wear and Tear and Boros Charm.
Yeah, it's interesting. This deck, as far as mana fixing, it has more white sources. The other deck, I noticed, it only had 3 Sacred Foundries, but 8 fetch lands. This one plays 4 fetch lands, 4 Foundries, and 4 Battlefield Forges, but less white cards in the main board. But there's 4 Stony Silence in the sideboard, which I think probably came up big because there's a Tron deck, and Tron decks generally can't beat Stony Silence.
No.
He was obviously expecting a lot of Affinity and a lot of Tron, which is great because those are the 2 decks that were up there. I mean,
yeah, they're the ones that he had to face down to get into first place.
Yeah,
So.
and this burn deck also main boards 4 Ley Lines of Sanctity like the other one does, and that's interesting. Like, I don't know, as a burn player, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, at least he could cast it if he doesn't have it in his opening hand. But as a burn player, I'm not sure if I would want Ley Lines. I would rather just race if it's like a matchup like another burn deck. I would rather just race them and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just have a bunch of Ley Lines and they don't really do anything. So.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Obviously, it worked out. So I mean.
Yeah, I mean, he got first. So I mean, when I first started actually on the stream, like I wasn't able to get to the stream until towards the end of it. And actually, when I got on, it was the second to last, I believe, match. And then I watched the last match. And I was like, I just couldn't believe that this was what was going on. I just this is the top 8. We don't really see any Jund decks, no pod decks, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
Which really excites me actually that there's no pod, even though pod still is pretty good and still is doing a lot of work. So.
Yeah, the last modern GP was a lot like this. That it was just decks we didn't expect to see in the top 8 were just there. So we should probably just expect the unexpected from now on. Modern is a format that it's a lot about it's rock paper scissors. What are you going to see? What do you think you're going to play against? How are you positioned against those decks? And you could have the best deck in the room and just get your butt kicked because you're playing against the decks that you weren't expecting to see.
Right.
It's about knowing what you're going to play. So. It's fun. It's a good format.
And there's more and more people joining the ranks of people that are playing Modern, and more people who are brewing. So overall, it's despite the fact that Tarmogoyf just instantly makes any deck better, I still think that Modern is a very healthy format, and even recent cards have been adding to its health. So
Yeah, it's going to get even more interesting come a month from now. So I'm interested to see what happens.
all right. So that's our the only tournament we plan on doing any discussion on.
Yep.
And so now we'll move on to the next part of our episode, and we're going to talk about some big news that came. Was it last Monday?
Yes.
Yes. So a week ago today, with some very, very interesting news from Mark Rosewater, who is the lead designer, I believe, the lead developer in R&D or something like that.
Currently, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just let you, since you Colin, you actually read through the whole article. I kind of just I didn't read enough to the important part, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your.
Okay. So Magic right now is as strong as it's ever been. It's as popular as it's ever been. More and more people are playing every day, and things are going well. But there are a lot of problems currently with the way Magic, it's being approached and how the sets are being designed and how people look at it and how people are getting into it. So this is what Mark Rosewater and Aaron Forsyth, two of the biggest wigs, you will say, in Wizards of the Coast, they decided that there were these problems we need to fix about Magic. And this reminds me of, if you remember, I think we're too young to remember, but there's Coca-Cola used to be dominating the soda industry, and then they decided to change the formula, and then it was awful, and then it ruined them for a while. It's kind of like that, but I think this is a lot better. So hopefully this is not another new Coke. I think this is going to work out for the better. So the first issue that they had was the third set issue. We'll notice if we look back at the older, some of the sets, that the first set of the block was always really good. It's something that we hype up, every fall set. It's a new storyline. We're excited. We want to go to a different plane. We want a new storyline. That's just what people like. So they put a lot of good cards in that set. And then their next two sets, they seem to either, one of them or both tend to suffer in power level. They're just kind of adding to the first one. And it's just not the same. So lately we've noticed with Born of the Gods, Gate Crash, Dark Ascension, Mirrored and Besieged, these all were middle blocks that were just really bad. They were so bad in comparison to the first set that it just wasn't the same. They were really bad.
Mirrored and Besieged wasn't that bad.
It didn't really bring us anything good. I mean,
Royal Legend?
That wasn't Scars.
That was Scars. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So in a lot of time, what?
Hero Bladehold.
That was okay, sure.
You're gonna have the one card that's really good.
Okay, so and also the third set also sometimes suffered. You'll notice it seems like really great cards are all concentrated in the first set. The next two sets were just kind of bad. They're just spread thin of good cards. Maybe one or two in the long-term scheme of Magic are actually good. So that was an issue. Another issue that they had was the core set. The core set has a lot of reasons why it exists, and the reasons why it exists, it's something that can be like a bridge between blocks, that we can tell a different story, that we don't have to follow these three blocks thing. They can be whatever plane they want to be from. Things like Thragtusk wouldn't have come into Standard without core set. Where is Thragtusk from? We don't know, but we like him. We're glad he exists. So this is a way for core sets are a way for staples of the format to actually make it to Standard, but not ruin the power level of the actual storylines, blocks.
Okay.
And it's also something that it exists because new players need a way to get into the format and discover things, and core sets generally the cards are just easier to use. They're the simplest cards you can think of. Not a whole lot of different, like there's like one big keyword in each core set. This time it was Convoke, and I remember there was Bloodthirst the one time. There was, whatever else. I forget the other ones.
I can't remember right now.
Exalted was the one.
Yeah, Exalted.
So these are just ways for new players to get into it and understand it without having to go into the expert sets, the actual blocks. But it just wasn't as good. The problem with it was once again, like the second and third sets being spread thin, the cards just weren't good, and we noticed that with M15. M15 is it's a pretty good set, but all in all, power level just isn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
And M14, M13, these are things that suffered because of that. The third issue they wanted to change was the metagame issue. When Magic first started 20-some years ago, 21, they figured that that was before internet was a huge thing, that everything was online, and they wanted people to figure out decks on their own. They wanted people that was part of the puzzle. They wanted them to solve a puzzle and build decks that was their own creations and they can win. But the metagame issue here is that decks information is out there so fast. People just look up a deck online and they build it, and the pros are solving the puzzle really, really quick. So they needed a way to get Standard to rotate faster, so that people needed to keep continually solving another puzzle. And that's one more thing. The fourth of 5 issues, storytelling issue. They wanted more stories. Just pretty much, they wanted to tell more stories than one a year. They wanted to explore more things. People just wanted to be in different planes more often. So that's another issue. And the space issue, I'm reading it right now. Yeah. Another issue. Well, okay, we're going to move past it. So they figure, what is the easiest way to solve all these problems at one time? So what they're doing now is, for those of you who have lived under a rock the past 2 weeks, you don't know this, but we're changing to 2 set blocks. And we're removing the core set entirely. And this is going to be something that is going to be completely changed in by next, I think 2 falls from now, will be out entirely of core sets.
Right.
So the old format was 1 block released. We have fall, a spring, and we have a fall, a winter, and a spring, and then we have a core set in the summer. Now we're having 1 block. We have a fall and a winter, and then another block is going to start spring and summer, and then we're going to keep rotating. So that solves a lot of the problems right there. But we need to figure out rotations. It used to be two blocks in standard. Now we have 3 blocks, and that solves the problem of certain cards just didn't have a shelf life. Like things in Return to Ravnica were in standard for 6 months longer than things in Dragon's Maze, and that wasn't really fair. Core sets also only lasted about half as much time in standard as first sets of blocks. So rotation was just weird like that. Things just didn't get much time in standard as other stuff. So rotations are happening every 6 months. So cards now have shelf lives in standard of 18 months instead of 24. They rotate faster. So the new rotation. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a new set coming out in 2 weeks. Khans of Tarkir. Looks really good right now. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So after that, we have Fate Reforged coming out. It is the second set in the block.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have Louis. It was Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We don't know what it's called yet. This is going to be a set that is different. We know that this block is about time travel. This is going to be a vastly different set, and it's probably going to be like Rise of the Eldrazi compared to Zendikar.
Which we'll more later.
Which was awesome. Funny thing about that, Rise of the Eldrazi was actually designed as a standalone set, and that's why it was never drafted with Zendikar and Worldwake. It was actually supposed to be a block on its own, which it should have been. But we're just used to the three set blocks, So we just say it's part of Zendikar. And that's why Zendikar and Whirlwick were so good, because it was two sets in the block, and we can expect that kind of power level now that they're doing it now. So the new rotation, we're gonna have Cons, Fate Reforged, Louis, okay, and then we're gonna have M16. M16 next summer is the last core set for now. They might return them later, at least like 2020 onward. They might, but for now they're not gonna exist.
Right.
After that, we're going to have a new block, which is codenamed Blood. It was supposed to be Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We're supposed to be all one block, but they changed it, so now it's Blood and Sweat are a block on their own. So when Blood comes in, Theros will rotate as well as M15. So we'll have Cons, Dewey, Louis, M16, Blood, and then Blood and then Sweat.
Right.
So when Tears is the next set. So that'll be a new block. It'll come out after that. So then when Tears comes out, we will lose. This is where it gets kind of crazy. We will lose Cons and Dewey. So the legal sets will be Louis, M16, Blood, Sweat, Tears, and Fears.
Wait. So Louis is going to be legal, but not the rest of the block.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, it's a standalone set. That's why I think it's going to be like Razi Eldrazi. It's going to stand on its own. We're losing 2 of the sets of the block, but we're keeping the third one. It's a time travel element. It's going to be different. It's going to be very different.
So it's kind of like they kind of worked this in when they were thinking about like how they're going to change the rotation.
Yeah, this is something that they had planned out for a while. They knew this was going to happen.
They knew this was coming.
So then after Blood, Sweat, Tears, we have Lock, Stock. It's supposed to be Lock, Stock, Barrel. Lock and Stock are a block on their own. So when Lock comes in, then we'll rotate past Louis and M16 will be gone. So then we'll have Blood, Sweat, Tears, Fears, and Lock and Stock. That's when we will finally have the first ever 3 blocks of 2 all together, and that'll be the new standard. And after that, it'll just be normal rotations every 6 months, which will be fall and spring.
All right.
So it's looking crazy.
Hey, I'm glad you explained the rotation though, because I was like, how are they going to do this? And they rotate out a whole, the whole block, and then just be like M16 with its own, and then,
that is the most confusing part. If anyone is watching this and needs to explain it, contact me. My information's out there. Someone will figure it out. It's kind of crazy, but we have a link for the what is it? For the page that explains all this. You can look at that. It has a graph that shows how things will work. You'll figure it out. It's kind of crazy. So that's pretty much what's happening. And so
super exciting.
We need to talk about exactly what this means for us as the consumers. I think this means Standard is going to be more fun. I mean, it's going to be more interesting.
Yeah,
more people.
I definitely think
more people are going to want to play Standard because it's changing and because the power level of the cards seem like they can definitely be better, and we're seeing that in Cons. Cons of Tarkir looks like a sweet set. We only know about 38 cards.
Mm-hmm. It looks awesome.
The quicker rotation allows them to print better cards, and if those cards are too good, then they will rotate faster, and we're okay with it. That's what it seems like to me.
It means that the longest a set of cards is going to last is going to be 18 months. It could be 15 months if it's a second set.
Right.
And then, but it also means that, okay, so right now we're in the habit of going through our collections at a certain time of year and saying, okay, here's my collection, it's rotating. And we do that once a year. Now, after this happens, we're going to be doing that every 6 months.
Twice a year. Yeah, it's every 6 months.
Which is usually the time period, how much time I spend going, okay, this is what's going to rotate. So,
yeah.
So how do you think it's going to affect though?
It's crazy. Like we're not going to see. that are just over like blue now, and they have in the most oppressive decks in standard for a long time.
We're kind of losing you there, Colin. I don't think.
One deck, but like a deck.
I don't think we're getting you.
What?
We're losing you. We're losing you a little bit. So like the past like 30 seconds, I didn't quite get.
Okay. So it's going to be interesting to see how cards interact with different other cards with different storylines.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that, so I was like,
Because you'll see 3 storylines at once.
yeah. Which also means 3 different like sets of mechanics. So usually,
There'll be more interaction.
yeah, way more interaction, way
Which
more.
will add to the complexity of that puzzle we talked about.
Yeah, so the meta will be different. My only concern is how new so standard is the format for new players. Agreed?
Yeah.
If you're going to start playing competitively, go to standard.
Go standard first. And so my only concern is that people are going to want to go to standard because, okay, they don't want to invest all this money in the cards that they're just going to be rotating out so fast. It's like, okay, I just started standard. Here's this block that I need to still get cards from for this to make this deck even good to play competitively. They're going to be leaving in 2 months. I don't want to invest the money in them. I know that's part of the thing. My thing when I look at building a deck, I'm like, okay, what's rotating? Let's try to see if I can, like when it comes time to building a deck around, near rotation, to go, okay, let's only build a deck from Theros, Block, and N15. That's all I'm gonna do. Don't even worry about round count. But then it doesn't actually end up being that good. So how do you think that new players are going to be looking at that?
It's going to be interesting. That's the first thing I thought of is that the new player kind of just they don't get as much from this. I don't know. I mean, they're getting. It seems like they're going to be getting better cards, and they're going to be getting cards that are going to help them in other formats. I think Modern, more now than ever, is going to be just super accessible. And I think that that's just the primary thing here, that they want the cards are going to be good, and the cards are going to be good for a while, but not necessarily in standard. I don't know. I mean, it does seem like they get shafted quite a bit. The core set just seems like it's super noob friendly, and me as a competitive player, as someone who knows what he's doing, I'm happy it's going to be gone for me. But it kind of sucks for them. But I trust that people who know what they're doing, a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people actually get into Magic by themselves. I think there's always someone kind of pushing them into it.
They always have a
and I feel like that's, yeah, and I feel like that's just something that like the friend needs to do. Like that's their job.
Right. All right.
And plus, with the internet and like decks being everywhere, they could just use one of those, and it's really not that hard. It's going to be great solving different puzzles, and I think that even the pros aren't going to be able to solve the puzzle. We may go through a block, a year and a half or whatever, where we have not figured out what the best deck is, and it may still be floating out there, and that makes it great for people who love building brews, building decks. They're getting paid off from this because anything can be the best deck.
Right.
So.
All right. I don't have any other thoughts on that. Do you, Eric?
I have no more thoughts on that. On that subject. I'm looking forward to it personally.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
I think everyone who found out is really looking forward to it.
Right. I mean,
the change, but what it will bring, yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, there's so those who don't know, there's this webcomic called Cardboard Crack. And in the comic, he was upset about the change. And the reason why he's upset about the change is because no Magic player is complaining about it. Because that's what Magic players do. We complain.
We do. We really do.
So the fact that no one's complaining about this change is it's weird. So everyone seems very excited about it. Everyone seems to be super pumped. So we'll be looking for that in the really over the next 2 years is when the change is going to happen.
Good and sweet.
Right, 1 year until we actually start seeing effects of the change, and then that change will take a year to process and move from the old format to the new format.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. So that's the big news. Well, some of the big news. But with this time of year, we have some spoilers with the new concept. The past 2 weeks, there have actually been quite a few spoilers. We've gone over a few of them in the last episode, but because of PAX, which I believe is out in California, tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong?
I think it's PAX East, so I think it's probably not California.
That makes sense.
It is PAX East.
It's PAX East.
Yeah.
So I wonder that's at then. Anyways,
Florida?
Florida makes sense.
Probably Florida. Florida. Yeah.
Florida, Jersey, or New York. Jersey only because it's accessible to New York.
That's fair. All right.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's good. All right. So at PAX East, which is not in California, there was quite a few spoilers released, and so I'm just going to go through them. If I'm going over one that we've already done, Colin, just yell at me.
Okay.
And I missed the last time we went over them, so
Eric will know.
We didn't get anything that good in the last one, so.
Oh, actually, there's oh yeah, we didn't get much stuff. So we're just gonna go over some white ones. We'll start with the white. We got 3 white cards. I don't believe any of these were released before. So the first one is just a common. It's a 2-cost Hound Soldier, which I think is interesting. It has the ability Outlast. I can't remember who that's from, though. Do you remember who that's from? Whose ability Outlast is?
That is Abzan.
Abzan.
All right. So Abzan has the ability Outlast, which is you pay the mana cost given, you tap it, and then you put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. But you can only do that as a sorcery speed. You can't do it like mid-combat if you have your creature has Vigilance. You can't just go, okay, I'm on Outlast. You have to do that before. This creature, though, it's a 2/1, and it gives each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it first strike. So,
yep.
But I think that's actually really good for a common to give creatures.
That is pretty good for a common, especially if you're playing Abzan and you have a number of creatures who are outlasting.
Right. So I think that's pretty good for a common. I definitely think it's going to be maybe decent and limited. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the Outlast ability, I mean, I feel like they just nerfed it so hard. If it was just pay 2 at any time and give them a counter, that'd be broken. But this is so much better. I mean,
if it was any time, or if you remove the it has to tap.
Yeah, and honestly, the tapping part.
The tapping part is what really brings me down. Because you can't do it at the end of your turn. Go, oh, okay, I'll do sorcery second main.
Yeah, and you can't even do it like you can't even. So like the turn your creature comes out, he has Summoning, so you can't tap him to pay for the ability. The next turn you can, but if you do that, it means he can't attack.
Right.
So really, if you're going to do it, you got two turns in which your creature is just unable to do anything, and you're sinking mana into it.
Kinda.
Kinda what?
It's something that you could use your mana for. I mean, that group is supposed to be about long game, and I guess this is going to be good long game. Okay. That's really what it's all about. It's something that you can. It's going to be good early and late, I guess. I mean, for a common, sure, it's pretty good.
Right. All right. So that's that card. Let's move on to the next one. Endless Hostilities.
End Hostilities.
End Hostilities. Sorry, not endless.
End Hostilities.
End Hostilities.
Pretty big difference in meaning.
That's a huge difference. So it's a 5-cost sorcery, yep. And it's a wrath. It's destroy all creatures and all permanents attached to creatures. So your equipment and your auras, which would usually go away anyways, but
I don't know if equipment actually does get killed by this.
Why would it?
It's attached to a creature, so yes, it would be destroyed.
I don't see why not.
I understand it is equipped, not attached.
Okay, yeah.
So why say permanents attached?
Because enchantment.
It's for bestow guys.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It's something that we'll have to look up. It might kill equipment, and that's pretty sweet.
That would be sweet if it does.
I think it's just bestow.
So kind of like how that one creature in Return to Ravnica was specifically for flashback, even though there's no flashback in the set.
Right.
Right. I can't remember the card right now.
Yeah.
Zealous.
Yeah.
Zealous?
Ash Zealot. Yeah.
Ash Zealot. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on now to the last of our 3 white cards. This is a rare. It's a 1-cost, 1/2 rare. Herald of Anafenza. She's a human soldier. I'm guessing it's she. I don't know why. Probably maybe guy. It has an Outlast of 3. It's like I said, 1 cost, and the ability on her is whenever you activate her Outlast ability, you put a 1/1 white warrior creature token onto the battlefield.
Which I actually like because end of my turn I Outlast and I get a blocker in her place or his place.
Yeah,
its place.
Its place.
Right. Yeah, this is significantly better than the other one because it can make blockers and it can just kind of sit there and get bigger while it's making blockers. And I think that's a lot better than the other one.
Definitely. I'm kind of curious why it's a warrior instead of a soldier.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I can't tell you either, but I think it's interesting. But
It's new, yeah.
it is new. All right. Okay, so we're going to move on to blue. So currently there's 3 cards spoiled. We talked about 2 of them last time. I believe it's the Jeskai Wind Scout we haven't talked about. This one's not big.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, we didn't talk about this one yet.
Yeah. So this is a 3-cost flyer, 2 in a blue. It's a common. It's a 2/1, and it has prowess. For those who don't remember, prowess is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So flyers, that's good. I'm not quite sure how much. It's not going to see constructed play. I don't think.
It's a decent limited pick. I think at least it seems like based on the power level we know, it's at least middle of the pack. I think it'll get picked like 7th or 8th in the pack if their things are just as powerful as they are now.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest.
It's good.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of things look, but it seems about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're just going to move on to black. I believe all 4 of these are new.
I only have 3 on mine, but you can let me know what the other one is.
No, you only have 3. I have 4.
Oh, well.
Oh. All right. Well, first one I have is Bitter Revelation. Do you have that one?
Yes.
All right. So Bitter Revelation. That's a 3 to black sorcery. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them in your hand and the rest in the graveyard. You lose 2 life. I'm not a huge fan, to be fair. To be honest.
Yeah. It seems like it seems like a less good Read the Bones.
Yeah, that's also
maybe better. Maybe better. I mean, it costs 1 more, but you're digging deeper. That's the thing.
But you're not discarding. You're just drawing. And you in the scry is like, yeah, you're kind of replacing scry to dig deeper, but to look at all 4 and then just decide. But instead of putting them on the bottom, you're putting them in the graveyard.
Which is actually better. I think it's much better to put things in the graveyard because then you can still access it.
Right. I mean, because we do have cards later that we're going to talk about that do involve
using the graveyard.
Using the graveyard. So
and this is power. I think this is
well, when it's been a thing, it's been a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's comparable to Read the Bones. It's about the same level.
Yeah. All right. The next card I have is Mardu Skull Hunter.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I have that one. It's not on this page.
Oh, okay.
That one.
So Mardu Skull Hunter is 1 in black, 2/1, human warrior. He enters the battlefield tapped, but he has a raid ability. For those who don't know, raid is an ability that activates when you attack the creature, and its ability is the target opponent discards a card.
Yep. So if you have attacked with something, play this main phase 2. They have to discard a card.
Yeah. So that
It's
seems
it's good. It's good, especially because we have a lot of mono black aggro strategies right now.
it's true.
Mono black aggro seems really strong, and this can fit in there somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Since Eric reads what the next ability does. All right, so the next card is Necropolis Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
He is a 9 cost. So
big.
7 and 2 black. He's got Delve is the big thing here. And for those who don't know, Delve is an ability in which I believe it's a returning ability.
It is definitely a returning ability. Yeah.
Yeah, in which to help pay for your card, you can exile cards from your graveyard. So each card that you exile from your graveyard makes the your casting cost 1 less. So if you exile 7 cards from your graveyard, you can make this just cost 2 black. So it's a 4/5, it has flying, and then has an extra ability. As you mentioned, these cards are rare. The extra ability is you pay X, tap it, and you exile X cards from your graveyard. That's the cost. Target creature gets -X until end of turn. I'm a little not sure how to think of this card, just because when it seems like I don't think it's going to be good in limited or in
Constructed.
constructed.
It feels to me like you need too big of a graveyard, and you're exiling things out of your graveyard.
Yeah, it seems like it requires too much graveyard salvage.
Bit of Revelation, which is throwing 2 cards in there.
But that's 2 cards.
It's only 2 cards, exactly.
And then with limited decks, you only have 40 cards to begin with. By the time you get there, yeah, you'll have maybe more access to it. I mean, he might be a good finisher. Like he may just be a bomb. Okay, here he is. Kill your dude, swing in for the win. That's all I can really see.
Right.
So I kind of disagree with what you're saying. This is almost exactly the same as Tombstalker. Tombstalker is one of the better cards. It's the best Delve card, I think, of all time. Tombstalker is an 8-cost 5/5 flying Delve, and this one is a 9-cost 4/5 flying Delve with an ability. So it costs 1 more, but it does crazy stuff. And I'm looking at Tombstalker right now. It's funny that Tombstalker is actually from Future Sight. And is Future Sight not the set that was just a bunch of abilities all in the same set?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be cards from the future?
Yeah.
So does this mean we're seeing a Tombstalker reprint soon? I don't know.
Maybe.
I just thought we should.
We can wish.
But yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I think this guy is actually decent. You've got a lot of cards. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of stuff that's gonna put stuff in the graveyard. We already have a decent amount of cards in Theros block that do that, and it's gonna be easy just to cheat this guy out really fast. And if you're filling up your graveyard really fast,
4/5,
it's gonna be pretty good.
No, if you can get him out fast, yeah. The ability is what I'm really looking at. Like, so if you're exiling a lot of cards to get him out, I feel like you're gonna need a lot of cards also to use his ability decently. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the body is good enough for me to say it's good. It's just a 4/5 flyer for what could be very cheap, and that's good enough to block a Stormbreath Dragon. It's good enough to block what we now know Sarkon's going to be. If we're going to look at that soon.
That's true.
It's going to block. You can block Sarkon. So things like that. I mean, the body, the 4/5, the 5 toughness is huge. Going from 4 to 5, that's just good. And the fact that it can come out really fast. So.
All right. Well, let's see how that goes. I haven't been the best at predicting how good cards are going to be. So. So our next card is Shambling Attendant. It's a 8-cost, 7 in a black, common. It's a zombie, and it has Delve. and it has Death Touch. I should also mention it is a 3/5 body. So 3/5 Death Toucher.
Yep.
I mean, I think this will definitely do work in some limited games.
Yeah, I would draft this. Delve is interesting because Delve, obviously it benefits from you filling your graveyard, but it also benefits you from, it benefits you for just playing the game. Casting spells, instants and sorceries, and having things die makes your cards better, which is cool. So I like that a lot. I mean, this is a decent card. It's definitely not as good as the other guy we just talked about because it's common compared to a rare, but it'll certainly see
Drop
a
one
lot of high picks in drafts. Yeah.
And the ability.
And the ability, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I definitely see this is going to be drafted and used and stuff. So, no qualms there. So I guess we're going to move on to red cards now.
Red cards.
We have currently 5 total spoiled, and I think we've gone over one of them.
Yep, we talked about Mardu Heartpiercer.
Right. All right, so we'll start with the first one on my list. I'm not sure if it's on first one on Collins, but we are looking at our first one's called Dragon Style Twins. It is a rare, costs 3 and red, so 5 total. It is a 3/3 body with double strike and prowess.
This card is awesome.
Yeah.
This card is awesome. Yeah, I mean, we're coming out of a set where red cards, there's a lot of pump spells in red.
Yeah.
And, like, think about attacking, they're like, nah, I can just take it. And then all of a sudden you're like, Titan Strength, and then play some other, pump spells. That's just crazy. You can just win in one shot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Titan Strength 3 double striker. Okay, cool. I'll let it through.
I don't know. I wouldn't let it. I think 3 double striker in.
No, I'm blocking it with a pen.
Oh, so that's 6 damage. I'm blocking.
But if you ever let it through, it's gonna deal 6 just by itself.
Yeah.
But if you do literally anything else, it's gonna be 8, 10, whatever. One Titan Strength that makes that a 7/5. That's awesome. That's 14 damage.
You know, it actually doesn't seem that bad it doesn't seem terribly bad about enchanting this creature with messenger speed.
Yeah, I like it.
Messenger speed is a 1-cost aura that gives a creature haste and trample.
Yep.
Yeah, that would do some work.
So you cast it on it, gives it haste, activates prowess. So it becomes a 4/4 double striking trampler.
Yeah. Seems pretty good.
Pretty crazy.
I think Dragon Style Twins will see some play.
I can definitely will see play in limited for sure.
Limited for sure. It's a bomb.
That's gonna be a snap pick, I think.
Yep. It's crazy.
Crazy. All right. So let's look at the next card. Howl the Horde is a 2 and a red, 3 total, rare, sorcery. And the ability is, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell, you may choose a target. So it's a sorcery speed reverberate. However, you also have a raid ability. So if you attack with the creature this turn, when you cast your next spell, instant or sorcery spell this turn, you copy that spell an additional time. So if you attacked, you copy that spell twice.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's hard for me to like it because cards like this generally don't do a whole lot in Constructed. They might see some play in EDH.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This goes really well with another card we're going to see later, the blue-white-red leader. I think it's going to go really well with that. But aside from that, it's kind of a whiff. I mean, the flavor is fine. I think it's not like a waste of a card. I'm not upset that it's being printed, but I'm not gonna play with it.
No. Yeah.
I think I like it, but I won't be playing with it.
I think
It's something.
It's going to require a very specific deck for it to work. It'd be if it was going to be in a deck, it'd be in a deck that's using it as some sort of engine to do something.
I mean, but then you have things like the Dragon Style Twins. Oh, I cast a sorcery. Oh, I cast 2.
No, but you
targeting
need to
it.
raid it. You have to raid.
Ideally,
But if you want to,
Yeah, but if you want its full effect, you have to raid. Okay, sure. But I cast this. I didn't cast 2 somethings on it.
You don't cast it though. The second copy doesn't get cast.
Well, yeah, but I'm still targeting it a second time. I mean, it's still
Right, but
if I'm giving it a buff spell, then
right, but still,
it's not as useful.
You may as well just use a second buff spell because it's still the same amount of cards. It's 2 cards.
Well, if I have this and a buff spell,
It's 2 basically.
it's 2 spells, and I've cast the buff spell on it twice.
But you could.
But I only had 1 copy of that buff spell in my hand.
But if you had more copies of if you had more buff spells in your deck, that
absolutely, yeah.
This card could just be a different buff spell.
Yeah, that is true.
So
I think the ideal situation with this card is like you have a bunch of dudes you're attacking with. You're playing with like an aggro, beat your face kind of deck. So you attack with like one guy or a few depending on what you have, and then you play this, and then you can play Stoke the Flames and like convoke it.
Exactly.
And then you can deal 12. You can deal 12 for like maybe if you convoked like 3 mana total. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But that is the ideal situation.
Yeah.
Or we may see something that later on when more spoilers come out that makes this card good.
Yeah.
I'm
maybe.
not doubting it personally, but
it seems better for the Jeskai than the Mardu. This is the Mardu ability, but it seems to go better with the Jeskai.
Definitely.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. All right. I'll move on. So we did Mardu Heart Piercer last time. This one's Mardu War Shrieker. He is a 3 in a red, common, 3/3, with raid. And his raid ability is that you add Mardu, so we're going to call... So Mardu is meaning red, white, black, to your mana pool. So it's a 4 cost that adds 3 to your mana pool if you use raid. And he's got 3/3 body.
Right. I want to call this guy Bad Burning Tree.
that seems fair.
Because he's all right. I mean, if you got some more stuff to cast, it's decent. It's all right. It's specific. It's oddly specific.
But he also
it's not going to be played like Burning Tree was by any means. But it's okay. I'd play it. I'd play it in certain decks.
I would definitely play it in limited.
Yeah, I'd play it.
Yeah, a 3/3 in limited.
I'll say a 3/3 body. A 3/3 body is definitely better than a 2/2 body. 2/3 tends to have more effect on a board, especially late game, than obviously a 2/2 body will. So.
It's all right.
All right. So next one. This is a really big one. This is it's Planeswalker. We have Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker. He costs 3 in 2 red, so 5 cost total, and he starts at 4 loyalty. His first loyalty, it's a +1 ability, +1 loyalty, and it's until end of turn, Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker becomes a legendary 4/4 red dragon creature with flying, indestructible, and haste. And he will not lose his loyalty while he's not Planeswalker because that's just not how counters work. So, his second ability, it's -3. Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker deals 4 damage to target creature. Not target player or creature, just target creature. And his last ability is -6. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your draw step, draw 2 additional cards. So you'll draw 3 cards per turn. However, you also get an emblem that says, at the beginning of your end step, discard your hand.
Hmm.
So he's still a little mad.
Yeah.
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 Um,
I'm gonna say it. It's a good card. It's gonna see play. It's gonna see
yeah.
play in
My
a
favorite
lot of
red
decks.
Planeswalker.
Um,
No.
especially it's gonna see
Favorite
play.
mono red.
Yeah.
It's at least we have red green monster builds right now that it's gonna see play in.
Yeah.
Rug monsters seems like it's gonna be a thing now because of Temer or Teamer, whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Tamara.
Um,
Mer.
it's great because um, the +1 he becomes a Storm Breath Dragon essentially. It's not
Right.
this exact same, but he's a Storm Breath Dragon. And what's great is he can do it immediately. It's something that doesn't come up too often. But Planeswalkers have summoning sickness like everything else, but he gets haste, which is pretty sweet.
Right.
Um,
But that means that it's technically you can pay. It's like you pay 5, you play him instantly. You're swinging with a 4/4.
right, and it's a
Five
4/4
monster.
that they can't just kill. At no point, if you sequence it correctly, at no point can they like Hero's Downfall this guy during unless until after he hits. Then he can do it during their turn.
No, because he can. As soon as you activate the ability, it goes on the stack, and they can Hero's Downfall then.
Oh, true. All right, you got it there. That's true.
So-
Anyway,
So if he's not, he is susceptible for.
He has a moment of weakness.
I wasn't thinking on that one, but the -3 is great because I think 4 damage is going to be the number. I think 4 toughness is going to be something that
Yeah.
it's going to mean something. If it was 3, it wouldn't be good.
Rug
If it was
is
like -2 deal 3, not good. But this is good.
And that last ability.
Yeah, the last ability, it's definitely not the best final. I watched a video where someone talked about it. It's good. I think it's good because it's a Planeswalker final ability that doesn't just end the game.
Mhm.
And I think that's healthy. I think that's good.
And it's
Yeah.
not. And it's not entirely outside the realm's possibility to actually get it. Especially.
No, and I don't know if I want it. I don't know. I don't think I want it.
Let's see.
Yeah, it would really depend on the situation. My guess is I don't want it.
I don't know. I can see plenty of situations in which I would not mind it. Part of it just being because I can dig deeper.
I'd love him for some EDH though.
Dig deeper, dig faster. Not be, I'm getting rid of some cards maybe. Maybe I'm playing all 3 of my cards I get from him, so who knows.
Yeah, I could see him teaming up easily with Xenagos and the other guys that are just red-green monsters, ramp strategy. That would make sense there. That you're just like tapping out and playing a bunch of stuff every turn. That's fine. I like that.
Yeah, grill monsters, so this is going to be a good thing. Alright. Alright, might I move on to green then?
Sure.
Alright, so green's got 2 cards, that neither of which were spoiled last time. Let's talk about the first one. It is Heir of the Wilds. It is 1 in a green, human warrior.
Both of them are rug. Both green are in the rug clan.
Yes, both green are. Yeah. And so this is a 2-cost 2/2. So first off, it's uncommon by the way. Okay, first off, it's a bear. So we got a bear. It has Death Touch. Cool. A bear with Death Touch is sweet. Then it also
Already good.
Then it also has Ferocious, which is whenever it attacks, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+1 to end turn. So it has the possibility of being a 3/3 with Death Touch at the right time.
Right.
I'll draft that all day.
Yeah, I think it's a good card.
Yeah, it can do anything you want it to do. It's already an amazing blocker. Death Touch is just it's an insane ability in limited, and being able to be bigger when it attacks is just gravy at that point. Why not?
Yeah, like it was good at a 2-cost 2/2 with the Death Touch. Like you had me there. With the additional ability, I probably won't. Maybe you won't use as much because you're typically using Death Touchers as blockers, unless you're being really aggressive. But I think it's sweet.
Yeah.
Really look forward to seeing that card when it comes to my seal pool on during the pre-release.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So next card is Rattleclaw Mystic. It's a 1 in a green human shaman with a 2/1 body, and it is a rare. Its ability is you tap it, and you can add either green, blue, or red to your mana pool. So it is a Tamir. Is that what it is? Tamir ability?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tamir style flavoring. And it also has Morph. For those who don't remember, Morph is you can pay 3 to put a creature face down, and you pay the Morph cost for this creature, it's 2, to flip it back over.
Yep. So you pay 3 to cast it as a 2/2.
Yeah.
And anytime you want, you can morph it for its morph cost, which is 2 of anything.
Yeah. Yep. It's 2 of anything. And the same thing for 3. It's 3 of anything. Just 3 colors. And so the ability after the morph is that whenever it's turned face up, a lot of these creatures that have morph have some sort of ability that goes off when they turn face up. For this card, it's when it's turned face up, you get Tamir. So you get green, blue, and red.
The rug.
Rug. You get rug, add it to your mana pool. I like this card a lot.
I like it a lot.
Yep.
I believe. Go ahead.
There's a lot of things I like about it, but I'm not sold. I think it's great, but I don't know something about it. I don't know. So here's what I'm thinking. It's gonna go great. Rug Monsters is gonna be a thing. It's gonna be very good.
Right.
It fits right in with if you play Elvish Mystic, Sylvan Caryatid, and then like 4 of this guy. You've got a great base for ramping out huge monsters really fast.
Yeah, you do.
And also, something that a lot of people won't notice about this card is that literally any deck can play it. Because it costs 3 colors to play and 2 colors to morph it. Anybody can play it. So decks without green, or without blue, or without red, they don't need to actually cast it. They can get ramp out of this guy just because. Why not?
You say it. People can take this card. You get this card in your seal pool. You're playing, let's say, Mardu. Feel free to still play this card.
Play it.
Play it.
Just play it.
3 costs. Hey, honestly, that's the nice thing about morph cards. That 3 costs for a 2/2. Okay, yeah, it's actually, like I would probably cut that, but it's not awful. And you do have the ability on the other side that when you do morph it, and the morph is cheap. Like most time, morph cards can be rather expensive, but this morph is only 2, and it pays for itself on that turn that you morph it.
And for those of you who haven't played against morph cards, it's hard to tell what you're playing against if you don't have a way to figure out what it is. It could be anything, so attacking into that might not be your best bet. And this guy, well, he's not like a huge blocker. You're not going to flip him over and block with him. He's something that might slow your opponent down, which is big because then you can ramp more and get bigger guys out faster, which is awesome.
Yeah, because the nice thing about morph is that it's not sorcery speed. You can do that instant speed. Just like so, you maybe have a bunch of morph cards. They're all 2/2s, and someone attacks in, and your morph card's a 4/4. Choose morph it back up.
Boom!
Block.
Boom.
You're good.
Yeah.
So that's morph is actually I'm really looking forward to seeing some morph. I think it's gonna be great in standard. So.
It's a good card.
All right, so we're gonna move on to multi-card cards, and we actually have a very big slew of stuff here.
11 total.
Yeah, we have 11 total, and I believe last time we had 1.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're just gonna delve right in. Delve.
Delve.
All right. So our first card is Abzan Guide. He costs 3 white, black, green. So Abzan, right? Yeah.
Yep.
He is a human warrior. He's got 4/4 body, so it's a 6 cost for a 4/4 lifelinker, and he has morph. The morph cost to put him back face up is 2 white, black, and a green. I should also mention he is a common.
It's a common. This card is a common. This is ridiculously good for a common.
That is real good for a common.
A 6 cost 4/4 with a lifelink. Ow. Ugh. So this is one of those cards that you can jump someone who attacks into you. If you play him as a face down 2/2. Granted, not sure how many times you're going to be on their turn having 6 mana open to morph him, but
5.
5. which is even worse than what I said. So.
You said when you're gonna have 6 mana open on that.
Oh, I thought I said 4. I said 4.
You said 6.
All right, whatever. Yeah, I can still see playing this guy. My only problem is that he's 3 different colors, which can be hard. And you even need 3 colors to actually morph him back over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
I think it's cool that it's going to cost you more to morph and then unmorph it, like play it and then morph it, but you can actually play it faster if you do it that way. You can turn, like if you're just going normal mana, you can turn 3, play a 2/2, and then play it face up, turn 5, and then attack with it, or you can wait till turn 6 and just cast it. So I think it's cool. I think it's definitely got potential at a common for limited.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not been constructed at all.
No.
All right. So next card. It's called Crackling Doom. It is Mario colors, so red, white, black.
Yes.
It is an instant, and it is a rare. The card reads, Crackling Doom deals 2 damage to each opponent, and each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures he or she controls. This card seems powerful. Just
Bonkers.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely even better in EDH, but even in Constructed, it seems like it has something. I'll say something.
It's awesome. I like the flavor that it is red, white, black. The colors, and it's both insult and injury. I think that's what's funny about it, because it's insult, shock you. What's that? Like that's not that bad. Injury, kill one of your guys. No, your biggest guy. No, any of your guys, no matter how indestructible or hexproof it might be, it's dead. And I love that. That's awesome.
That is.
If let's say that your biggest creature is a god, it's dead.
That's fair. Oh my god.
That's awesome.
Then they all take 2 damage.
That's awesome.
And you just got 2 damage to your face.
Yeah, and take 2 damage.
Alright. So I definitely look out for that card.
The only downside is it's 3
favorite
colors.
Yeah. But with this set, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, with this set, that's not really a problem, but...
Yeah. Alright. Alright, so we'll go on to the next card. This card is called Dune Blast. It costs 7 total. 4 white, green, black. So 4 Nabzin. Sorcery rare. And it is choose up to 1 creature. Destroy the rest. So it is a wrath spell. I'm not particularly a huge fan of this one, though I understand how it can be good without being able to choose a creature.
Card is awesome.
My
What are you
hesitation
talking about?
is it's a 7 cost.
Yeah, that's my hesitation as well.
I mean, I don't think that's truly going to be a problem, but 7's pretty high.
Well, okay, so these are the colors that are going to be playing a long game. These colors are already the best. This is already the best 3-color combination in standard plus rotation. Okay.
Right.
You add this, it's wipe their board. Oh, and I can keep this Courser or this, other enormous guy. Polukranos, whatever you have. It seems awesome, and I love the fact that it's worded the way it is. It's like, choose up to 1 creature, destroy the rest, as in, like, I don't even care about them. The rest of them, they're gone. It's just like, forget them. I love it. Flavor.
Tastes like
It's
chicken.
one more EDH card that's just awesome.
Yeah, no, EDH for EDH.
Yeah, for EDH, that's beautiful.
I mean, most of this set is just gonna be like, ooh, this is gonna be great in my EDH deck.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot, personally.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, so we'll move on to the next card. This card is a little less, it's a little not as exciting, but still good. I think it's interesting. The card is Ice Feather Aven. It is a green and a blue 2/2 body flying. So I'm stopped there. That is actually pretty good for limited.
A 2/2 flyer.
2/2 flyer.
That's good enough.
That is good enough.
We could stop here, and I'd be happy. I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, pretty fine.
Good enough.
All right, moving on. Morph. Morph cost is 1 green blue. So pay for 3, put a 2/2. Morph it face up for 3, and you get this ability. When Ice Feather Aven is turned face up, you may return another target creature to its owner's hand. So when you turn face up, you get it unsummon.
So you paid 1 extra, and the 3 to put it down face down.
Yes, yes. So turn face up, basically you turn face up, it gains flying, and you bounce a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's very good, and like, at first glance, you could underestimate how good an unsummon is at the right time. It can be huge in a game. Like this is limited, obviously, but it can be huge in one of those games. I like it.
Yeah, no, it has a lot of potential. Especially in like honestly, this is. I think as we've discussed, we all kind of really want to play Rug, play Tamir.
Well, I've kind of, as we've been looking at these spoilers, I've kind of been falling for that Abzan.
That's
That
right.
Abzan.
We're all changing teams.
Yeah, usually I'd be like all about America. I'm not sure what Eric would be.
I would be all the Rug. Oh, that Rug.
And Colin would usually be Abzan.
Junk.
Junk, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're all like, oh, this looks really good. Oh, ooh.
Yeah, I like Rug a lot right now.
I say Rogue looks really good right now. I'm still waiting to see more from the America color team, Jeskai.
Yeah.
But we'll see. All right, so move on from Ice Feather Aven. We have Ivory Tusk Fortress.
Or as I'm calling him, the Outlast friend.
Okay.
Dude.
I know.
That's pretty boss with
I don't know.
Outlast.
Just didn't really read off the tongue.
Nope. Okay,
Eh.
fine, whatever.
Anyways.
I'm calling him my Outlast friend because that's pretty good with Outlast.
All right. Anyways, so Ivory Tusk Fortress is a 2.
And that's...
It's 5 cost. 2 white, black, green, and he's an elephant. Yay, elephants!
Roar.
5 costs 5/7.
Yes, 5 cost 5/7. He's a rare, and his ability is untap each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it during each other player's untap step.
And my turn.
So
Outlast.
think about the synergy with him and Johnny Steadfast. His -2 is put counters on your dudes.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh man. Like,
Oh.
so Giants is on -2, put creatures all your dudes. So basically -2, all your creatures get counters, attack in. Next turn, they all untap.
It's like,
And
all
that's
right.
pointing out.
He's playing nice with that Outlast. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, end of my turn, I Outlast all my dudes. Oh, your turn, untap them. Sweet.
That's pretty crazy.
And I made another blocker if I'm using that one dude.
You're assuming your pack's pretty hard there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The
In constructed that actually I'm
No.
the one thing I'm not necessarily liking is that there's so many creatures in this set that have names that could be like non-creature spell. Like this could easily be a land. Like Ivory Tusk Fortress sounds like a land.
Did you see
I don't
the
know.
art? Did you see what the art looks like?
Yeah, I mean it's a giant elephant with a thing on his back. Like it's a land. It's a moving land. It's an elephant. It's non-basic land elephant. What it is.
Yeah, actually yeah.
That seems a little weird.
That seems
Wait. How about a creature land elephant?
Now that's preposterous. That's crazy.
I like the flavor text on this one.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Abzan soldiers march to war, confident that their houses march with them.
I love it.
All right.
Very good.
Yay, flavor. All right, so our next one. Now, this one's going to be for, I think people are going to see this card as a good EDH card.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. This is Narset, Enlightened Master. He costs 6 with a 3/2 body. He goes a 3 and then just Guy. So 3 blue, red, white. Legendary Human Monk. He has First Strike and Hexproof. So kind of he's a protection there. His ability is whenever he attacks, you exile top 4 cards of your library, and then until the end of turn, you may cast non-creature cards exiled with him this turn without paying their mana cost.
I want to start by saying, first of all, this is clearly not a dude. This is a chick.
Oh,
Throw that out there.
I didn't look at the picture.
That's a chick. That's
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely that's clearly a chick.
This is an awesome commander. Like the last time I saw a commander that intrigued me so much, I built a deck around it, and I'm playing that deck right now. Marchesa is the last thing that I looked at. I was like, I'm building a deck around that. This is an awesome card. This is just as a commander, totally awesome. As a card in standard, I don't know. Maybe you certainly could, in the same fashion, build a deck around it.
I call dibs.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
No, yeah, I mean, and then like you were saying about that other card, so since she attacks, you could technically cast the Reverberate spell, I can't think of the name of it right now, with its rate ability on, and then double whatever you're about to cast from your 4 cards that...
Yeah, it's nuts. Like, the potential is nuts. But
good.
Potential doesn't always get there, and that's what I don't like about it. Is that it just?
I like the shit. Hexproof and First Strike makes the 6 cost 3/4 or 3/2 body a little better.
And this is attacks, not deals damage. It's when she attacks. So doesn't have to hit anything, but 4 blocks you can cast any of these spells if they're instants. That's crazy.
Is he like
with 4 blocks? That's actually a really important point.
Yeah, so it means you can get like get some removal spells from those top 4. Like, okay.
Removal or pump or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Loving it. Loving it. All right, we're gonna move on if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sidisi, Brood Tyrant. She is, I think that she. No, it's a dude. I don't know.
That's a dude.
I don't know.
That's a dude.
I can't tell. Sidisi sounds like a female.
Sidisi does sound like a female, but that's a dude.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know. The reason we question this is because she's a Naga. He's a Naga. It's a Naga.
It's a Naga.
For those who don't know, Naga are like snake creatures who I don't think we've actually seen since.
It's been a long time.
Since the Kamigawa block.
Yeah.
So this is old school.
Some flavor.
So anyways, Sidisi Brood Tyrant is a 4-cost 3/3. It costs 1 black, green, and a blue.
Another one I could see it being a good EDH commander.
So it's a bug. I don't remember the name of the clan. Whenever Sidisi Brood Tyrant enters the battlefield or attacks, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, you put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield.
This card is so good, man.
Dude. Colors. There's some things you can do too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking.
You know me. I love graveyard-based strategies. This is nuts.
I'll say, and you don't even have to like for the creature to go into the graveyard. It doesn't even have to be because of her. It.
Yeah, you could just cast Commune with the Gods or something else or just some, whatever. It'll just happen, and that's just crazy.
Yeah, and it's only a 4-cost, which I think is the big thing.
A 4-cost 3/3.
Like
the ability is pretty good.
It's great because I've been playing on and off a deck in Modern that is it's 4-color Dredgevine. So with this card in there, it's 4 costs, so it's castable because I play cards like Birds of Paradise to ramp a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, you can just every when it enters, so you mill a couple cards, and then you hit a Bloodghast or a Grave Crawler, you can just get it back. And then if you play stuff like Hedron Crab with fetch lands, you can just get zombies just for nothing. And these zombies are they come in. They don't come in tapped like every other time zombies come in. They're coming in. They're 2/2s that can block. That's awesome.
Definitely.
You could even find a way to instant speed that, make blockers. That's awesome.
I'm sure there is card to do it, so I'm not too bit. I mean, you could.
We're losing Grizzly Salvage, but I'm sure there's going to be a way to instant speed mill yourself. There's got to be.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
All right. Our next card.
But before you get to that, I actually found there's one that is not on the list that just came out, literally just came out moments ago.
Oh, nice. First hand break.
Okay. This card is Sagu Mauler. It is 4, a green and a blue. It is a 6/6. It has trample and hexproof.
Cool.
So it is a 6-cost 6/6 trample hexproof.
Okay.
It also is a morph, so you can play it for 3 face down. Morph cost is 5. So you can, if you're probably ramping, you can turn to this as a morph guy. Then it costs you 5 mana to flip it over as a 6/6 trample hexproof.
Okay. No
Pretty
more.
awesome. That's it. But
Okay.
it's pretty awesome. It's a rare.
It's a rare.
Yep. I think trample hexproof is pretty good.
Oh, that is really good. I'm just. The blue green.
Yep. It's something that blue green monsters can play.
Yeah, definitely.
Certainly.
I'm just thinking about
It's one of those. We're seeing a lot of morph guys that are small. If they attack into this guy, they're not going to live.
Nope. No.
That's awesome. I think it's great.
Definitely. We're gonna stop by the shop sometime soon, just to prepay and be like, okay, we want rug.
Yeah, we want that.
It seems good. I like it.
All right. Yeah, that definitely seems good. Good possibilities. Good possibilities. All right. So may I return to my list then?
Yep. Go for it.
All right. Cool. Next one. Exciting stuff again. We're getting a new Sorin.
Woo!
This is Sorin, the Solemn Visitor. He is a 4-cost, 4 loyalty. He costs 2, a white and a black. So he's retaining the. He's very honestly looking at the card. He is very similar to his Innistrad version. His +1 ability is until your next turn, which is really important. Not until the end of the turn, until your next turn. Creatures you control gain +1/+0 and lifelink. His -2 ability is put a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying onto the battlefield. And then his -6 is you get an emblem with, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature.
Oh boy.
So this seems pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I feel like you and I always disagree.
It's all right.
I think it'll see play. I think it'll definitely see play.
Inconstructed.
And constructed.
Yeah, sure. The litmus test for Planeswalkers is always, can they protect themselves? And if they can't, they don't succeed. And this one can protect itself, but it's at the cost of using it as a minus ability. One of the comments I'm seeing on the side of this is more for aggressive builds. And let's say, for example, you're playing black-white aggressive strategy. Turn 1, Soldier of the Pantheon.
Okay.
Okay. Turn 2, Underworld Coinsmith, a 2-mana 2/2 human.
Okay.
Turn 3, you play Aetherios.
Yeah.
And then turn 4, you slam down this guy. You +1 it. You have Aetherios as a creature, and you're attacking for, 12? Some ridiculous amount of damage. I think it's decent, but playing it, I don't like it in, junk builds, junk Planeswalkers. I don't like it as much because if you're playing it off of like a Caryatid,
No, you
it's
definitely need this.
gonna have to minus to protect itself, and even then, it's probably gonna die.
Yeah, you definitely need this in an aggro build. This is not going to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with. It works better with creatures than it does with
Right.
than with anything else.
Right.
Maybe
This is. It's funny. It's a lot like the last one, like in its build and everything.
yeah.
Even what is it? It's a 4 cost. It has +1, -2, -6, exactly the same as the last one. It enters with 1 more, but it plays really differently. Like it's for different kinds of decks, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that's Sorin. So we got 2 planeswalkers in this set. I believe that's all we're going to see for this one. We'll probably see more in the later sets in the block. So we're going to move on to our next card. If those who were around for a Lara block, and then even in the Trinidadica block, and then even way before that, we see charms. We got charms for all the different shards. We have clans for each color, and we have charms for each guild. So now we have charms for wedges, and so the first one is that we've seen so far is Sultai Charm. It is a 3 cost because it requires 1 of each of the cards of Sultai. So black, green, and blue. It's an instant, and as the charms usually do, it has 3 abilities. The first ability, choose one of these abilities, do one of these things. Destroy target monocolored creature, or destroy target artifact or enchantment, or draw 2 cards and then discard a card. I should also mention, though, that they're switching up how they do these. They're not doing it in bullet points instead of listing them out.
Instead of block text.
Yeah, instead of block text. So actually putting bullet points for each ability.
I like that.
Looks nice.
It looks nice.
This
It fills the card a little.
this card is awesome. I hope every charm is as good as this, because this is awesome.
I really hope the Just Guide charm is ridiculous.
And maybe we disagree.
No, I think this is good. This is good. This is good. This is
Okay.
This one I think we all agree on. This is a good card.
this is very good.
It's a sideboard card that you can mainboard.
Pretty cool art too.
Yeah,
It's always good. Always good.
always good. Even drawing 2 cards and discarding a card is still good. Like I think it's probably the worst ability on here. Maybe not even true.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like you said, definitely.
There's actually a lot of monocolored creatures.
Huh? Yeah.
There's a lot of monocolored creatures.
Yeah, and they.
So you could
and that's-
easily kill any of those.
Yeah.
It's funny. What I'm looking at is all 3 of these cards combined. Ultimate Price is the first ability. Middle ability is Naturalize, and the third ability is Catalog, which is from back in the day, 8th edition, I think. So all 3 abilities, 3 different cards in one. It's crazy.
There you go.
And I like the charms because they're good in situations. They're versatile.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, every time you have a charm, you have an ability that sees more action, but they're still versatile.
Yeah. Although there's definitely some charms that have been a little overpowered.
Boris charm. Boris charm. Yes. Yes.
But I think it's definitely.
It wasn't that good.
It's
It wasn't that good.
You can shut up.
yeah. It's pretty good, I think.
Anyways, I
What?
hope the rest of the charms. I do hope the rest of the charms are as good as,
What?
if not better.
What?
What?
Okay.
All right. So our next card, Tamir Ascendancy, is rug. So green, blue, red. It is enchantment. The ability is creatures you control have haste. Seems good. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Definitely feeling more of an EDH card theme, but maybe I'm missing something here.
Well, it's good in EDH, but it's also, I think it could see play in Standard. It's definitely good enough. I don't know. I like it. There's the you can play it off of the Rattleclaw Mystic. If you turn it face up, you can just play this for free.
Yep.
Pretty sweet.
And you can attack with it immediately because it gives it haste.
Yeah. You get another mana. It's pretty awesome. Pretty sweet.
All right.
And it does seem like
I like the fact that
target number for power. So maybe you'll get to draw more cards.
Right.
A bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that we're actually getting into stuff that adds some devotion. Like devotion, didn't get a whole lot of help for the multicolored gods with these cards. Like they're getting some help.
No, yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Like there's gonna be a color. There's gonna be a color that's gonna whiff, gonna miss on the devotion. But in Theros, near the end of it, there weren't that many cards to actually add devotion. There were things that helped. Devotion was actually a good thing to have. Like Master Waves, Gary, whatever, Fanatic Amogus. These are great cards, but there's not a whole lot to help them out. And I like that there's actually some devotion for the multicolor gods to get them going. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what our shop said was that after the rattlesnake guy, whatever his name is, even Sean, once he was spoiled, that Keranos went up to $15. So from 10, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
Or at least.
Yep.
I don't know if that was why, but it might have had a difference.
I don't know either.
Yeah, it may have played a role, may not have. Hey, that's how. Okay, usually you can point to, that's why that card's so high.
Yeah. All right. So I'm actually going to skip over lands because it's a very exciting thing there, and we're going to work our way to the bottom of the page for artifacts,
And then we can come back.
and we'll go back to lands. Seem good? So
Yep.
we have 2 new cards in artifacts. One actually is very interesting as well, so we will talk about that. My first one is Lens of Clarity. It is a 1-cost artifact that allows you.
I'll have another one.
Huh? Okay. It allows you to look at the top.
Okay, go on. I'll talk about it in a minute.
Oh, didn't we?
Did we already look at the Dragon Throne of?
I thought we did. Oh well.
I don't think we did.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to that.
Let's look at the Dragon Throne.
Yeah, look at the Dragon Throne. All right. So, sorry, the one we're going to look at is Dragon Throne of Tarkir. Is a 4-cost legendary artifact equipment, and the ability is equipped creature has defender, and pay 2 tap other creatures you control gain trample and get +X until the end turn, where X is your creature's power. It also has an equip cost of 3. Colin, thoughts?
It's good. I like it.
That's all you got for me?
It goes well. I like the comment. The comment on the side. It says someone's going to play it in their Ruhan EDH. For those of you who don't know, Ruhan is it's a 4-cost 7/7 commander that has to attack every turn, a random person. So if you use this and put it on it, you can just tap it and give your entire team +7/+7 every turn, which is pretty darn good.
That does seem good.
I like it. I don't necessarily think it's good in Standard, but I think that if you can find a way to cheat out a really huge guy that just can't do anything, Like, but it's just enormous somehow. That'd be pretty sweet. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, seems good. Can we go with the lens now? May we?
Go for it.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. I love this card a lot. I think it looks pretty sweet.
I think, but
Oh, all right. So Lens of Clarity. You may look at the top card of your library and at face-down creatures you don't control. And you can do this at any time. So you already have the ability to look at your own creatures face down anytime you want. So this allows you to look at your other opponent's morph cards and the top card of your own library anytime you want, and it only costs 1. And I should also mention it's a common.
I like the idea of looking at the top card of your library, and I like the idea of knowing what you're going into.
yeah, it seems like it's good, but like I wouldn't want to play it. Like it's
Yeah,
like maybe
I
a sideboard card against like an all morph deck.
Yeah.
I mean, in limited, it probably won't be terrible.
Yeah.
I just like even the ability of being able to see their own top card. I mean, people play Courser for half that reason, except for it doesn't reveal it to your opponent. You get to see the top card of your own library.
Well, that's not really fair. Courser is a darn good card.
No,
and it's not because you can see your top card. Like it's more than that. Like this card, it's just the fact that it's a waste of a card. I think it's just a waste of a slot in your deck, and that's really all it is. Like it's good. I want to play it, but there's cards like Urza's Glasses. It's a 0-drop. You can tap it to look at someone's hand. That's great and all, but like I don't want to waste that in my deck. I want to play something that actually does something that is going to affect my board. Is going to win me the game. This is not going to do that.
Right. No, I agree with you there.
This is giving you knowledge, but it's not really getting you closer to winning.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, yeah, sure. But it's not getting you anywhere.
I know. All right. So that's that card. I think the art's also pretty sweet. If you've seen this card and you see the what is the morph token, it's pretty much like the lens is just looking at a morph token, and it's like, okay, so that's what that creature actually is. So
awesome.
Yeah, I think the art's pretty sweet. I think it's pretty. The art in the set in general looks really nice so far.
Yeah, it does.
So, all right. So the last artifact, Ugin's Nexus, is a 5-cost legendary artifact, and if a player would begin an extra turn, that player skips that turn instead. If Ugin's Nexus would be put into a graveyard from the battlefield, instead exile it and take an extra turn after this one. Real quick, for those who don't know, I didn't find this out until I actually looked up who Ugin is. Ugin is the colorless dragon, the dragon of colorless magic. So we've seen other cards that feature talk about him. We have the Eye of Ugin from Zendikar block, and it's other mentions of him throughout the flavor text. So as for the card itself. The only thing I've really heard about is that people want to use this card in conjunction in some sort of Is-It build or blue-red build, in which you're using Insult Artifacts as well as Grand Architects and then Shrapnel Blast to get rid of this card in order to get your extra turn.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, man. That's so good.
And the name Ugin just feels good to me.
I don't know.
So you do like this? You do like this, Colin?
Yeah.
Any?
Yeah. It sucks that Trading Post has to rotate just in time for this to come out.
That
makes me so sad, but I don't know.
You and your Trading Post.
It's so good though. Look at the possibilities.
No, the possibilities are ridiculous. It's kind of glad it's not happening, but yeah, I mean, it still has a lot of potential though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Eric and I have been talking about this though. Ugin is here, right? Last time we saw Ugin, again, with Zendikar block, where we see Eldrazi.
I love me some Eldrazi.
He loves seeing some Eldrazi. The Planeswalkers we saw in Zendikar were Sorin, Nissa, Sarkon, and then Jason Chandra. Nissa was reprinted in M15, or printed in M15, the new version. We've seen our Sorin, and we now have Sarkon, who now the main, I'd say the main character-ish of the story. Not main character, but main Planeswalker. He has a piece from the Hedron from Zendikar on his little staff. Ugin, the Eye of Ugin goes and fetches colorless creatures. I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking, bear with me, that either, I feel like there's a bigger, stronger possibility now that Eldrazi are coming back.
One can hope.
At the very least, I think we're going to see colorless creatures in some sort.
Yeah, I think that
aren't artifacts.
For you to believe that Eldrazi are coming back, come on now. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I don't. Really,
but
neither.
I think what.
No. I truly believe there is a possibility.
Oh, okay.
What?
I don't truly believe the Eldrazi are coming
What?
back. There's a possibility, sure. It's not happening.
Not this set.
I can hope. I think
wishing and believing are different things.
I can hope the Eldrazi are coming back for.
Fine. He's hoping.
Dewey.
He's hoping. I think there's actually a possibility.
Come on, Dewey.
Here's what's going to happen. Let me just tell you what's going to happen.
Okay.
Ugin is going to be a planeswalker in this block. Ugin will be a colorless planeswalker.
He's dead.
And he will be in the storyline the reason why we are traveling time. We are going back in time because he's a crazy awesome guy that can do that.
Yep.
That's why. He's going to do something awesome. That's what's going to happen.
Perfect sense. That makes just as much sense. More sense.
It's clear. It's clear he can time travel. Look at this. He's taking
definitely.
extra turns. That's time travel.
Yep.
He's the reason why we're traveling time. This is a time travel element. We're doing it. He's the reason. He's here. Ugin's going to be here.
Okay.
Maybe there'll be
going to be a card for Ugin. He's going to finally make appearance.
Yeah, what about that? What if the Eldrazi are being born? Created.
The bird.
What if we're going to see the origin story?
That'd be so boss.
Like, seriously, where do they come from? Who knows?
Maybe. No. Hear me out. Maybe. No. Maybe what we're doing here is we're setting up another set that will work with this, but the third set will be draftable as a second set to Rise of the Eldrazi.
Oh, that'd be so boss.
Maybe like Ice Age and Cold Snap. Ice Age and Cold Snap are 10 years apart, and they can be drafted together. What if we have a set that is standard that you could draft with these ones, but also with Rise of the Eldrazi?
That'd be ridiculous.
That'd be awesome. One can hope.
That'd be ridiculous.
I want it.
But still, I think colorless, non-artifact creatures are at least a possibility. I mean, he is a colorless being. So if he becomes a planeswalker, he will be a colorless planeswalker like Karn. I don't know. And then they talked about how they're going away from the multicolor thing after the set. Like, after the set, they're going back to like monocolor.
They're not focusing on the wedges anymore.
Right. So it's completely leaves them open to go, oh, hey, here's some colorless creatures.
Here's some Eldrazi.
It doesn't have to be Eldrazi, but colorless creatures.
I can hope.
Maybe. Okay, so the second set is Fate Reforged. Maybe what's going to happen is we're going to go back in time and we're going to save Phyrexia. Or is it not Phyrexia? We're saving Mirrodin. Is that the one? No, Zendikar. Yeah. That's it. Saving Zendikar from the Eldrazi. We're going back in time and stopping them.
I can deal with that.
As long as I get to see them again, I can deal with that.
Fate Reforged.
Seems good.
Fate Reforged.
Except I don't know about all that. I don't
No,
remember
no.
leaving this plane.
Like-
I think we're leaving this plane. I can see it.
Midway through the blog, we're just gonna leave the plane.
Dude, that would be like
That'd be so new.
be so new. All right. Okay. Back to spoilers.
All right, that's spoilers.
So,
And here's some big stuff.
huh? What's that called?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right, going on. All right. So we're back to lands. Here's the big thing. Here's the whoa, holy crap. So people have been wanting fetches for Valentine. They want, people want their arid mesas and their misty rainforests and their scalding tarns. And guys, I'm gonna first off say I'm sorry. Those did not get printed. They did not get reprinted in this block. Instead, what they gave us is the Onslaught fetches. Woo! Which means so many things. Like, it is ridiculous how much this means to us. One, this means that we have the ally fetches now. Not only are they going to be, they're just we have access to fetches. Fetches getting reprinted. That's awesome. It means now also that these fetches are going to be legal in standard for a bit, which is really cool. But this also means that these fetches are going to be legal in modern. So we're going to have the full set of 10 fetches, of all 10 colors, available in modern for anyone to use in any deck. Which, yeah, just wow.
I also really enjoy the flavor text on these.
I don't really care as much for the
I hate them. I hate the flavor text. It's so stupid.
I like that all 5 of them are the same way.
I don't like that.
We're dragons once.
Yeah, I think it's lame.
They now.
Nope, it's lame.
I like it.
I think it's lame.
I like it.
I think it's lame.
You
Colin?
can think it's lame all you want. You both think it's lame. I'm fine with that. I
It's
like
lame.
it.
Thoughts?
What?
Thoughts? Come on, comments. Comments on.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Wizards wanted a game changer, they made the biggest game changer they could in the grand scheme of everything.
Everything.
Fetches changed the outlook of the entire game, not just standard. I mean, standard's the least. Standard, they're going to make the least amount of difference. People are going to be able to play Legacy now more. People are going to be able to play Modern more. This is going to make the prices of other fetch lands go down because they're not as wanted because they can play as many fetches as they want of other colors. It's just going to be awesome because Modern is just going to be accessible. We have Thoughtseize now. We have Mutavault. We have Court of Calling in Standard. Incidentally, we're getting paid off for all this stuff. It's just looking awesome for the future. And now we can get foils. Now we can get foil fetches. That's just awesome. These are rares. These aren't mythics. These are going to be in packs. You open a box, you're going to get a bunch of fetches. And people are going to get them. And the fact that fetches are in standard now, people that are playing Legacy and Legacy alone are going to they're going to want to buy these new packs, and they're going to buy the packs, pick through them, get all the fetches, and take them out, which makes the price of everything else go down. So it's going to change that. So fetches are going to be expensive, sure, but we're going to open them in packs. And because people are picking through and picking those out, everything else people are opening packs of this. They want more and more. It's huge. And I want to play fetches in Modern, and I want them, and I'm going to have them, and it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. There's only one problem right now. That one problem is that I have no money to buy a box.
Get money.
That's a problem, all right?
So I need to make sure I win.
Here's what you do. Tonight, just tonight, I literally was at the card shop hanging out, and then we were like, hey, let's do a EDH pod. So we each put in $5, play EDH. I won the EDH pod, and I won 4 packs. I'm using those packs for drafting Khans of Tarkir. $5, I got 4 packs out of it. Just go, play a format, win it, get more stuff. That's all you got to do. $5 ain't that much.
I know. I got. That means I have to win. I am going to go to a tournament on Wednesday and on
do
Saturday.
that.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win those. I do my best to win those at least.
Good.
I'm playing a good deck. I'm not playing something everyone else plays. I did get almost win with it at the game date. I could have won with it if I was an idiot, but yeah. See how things go. Wish me luck for that. I will probably save whatever I win and be like, hey, can I just get this in cons when it comes out? Or just do the pack, sell them.
The thing, it sounds stupid. It sounds stupid, but the thing I'm most excited about is I want to be able to, in standard, have someone cast a spell and go, I'll respond, I'll fetch. And it's little. That's it. That's all I want. I want to say I'll fetch in response, and then just like not do anything. I want to be able to do that. Just like fetch a land, and be like, okay, it resolves. Just like not do it. It's little things.
Little things.
Little things.
Little things.
I am definitely pumped for cons. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of late. By the way, when we record this currently,
Here's the beauty.
It's currently 12:43.
The
Look,
beauty of this is that we only know. We only know 38 cards out of this set. Do you see this? We only know 38 cards out of 269, and we're already saying we're gonna buy boxes and boxes of this set.
yeah. We've only seen, what is that? My brain can't do percentages right now, but that's not very many.
I can't do this, but it's
Not very many,
12%.
and we're still pumped.
12%.
12%. We've seen 12%, and we're buying boxes.
Dude,
It's gonna be awesome.
not only are we getting lands, which are gonna be awesome, we're also gonna get awesome commanders,
Awesome commanders.
awesome cards for commander, and then just cards that we're gonna need to play standard anyways.
Yeah. That too. Huh?
Yeah, too. So, yeah.
Oh.
Dude. Like, seriously though, I am just so pumped. So I don't have any more comments on these currently.
And technically, this upcoming week is the first spoiler week. We've already seen 12.
Buckle up.
Get ready. It's going to be a ride to cons.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna move on. Maybe. Nope, I'm not gonna move on. Not yet. You guys keep talking. I gotta try and find something real quick.
Which are fun.
Just keep talking.
Okay. I'm definitely excited for cons. I definitely need to get a job so I can have some money so I can buy a box. Not pay rent. Nope, don't do that. Need to buy a box.
Don't need a place to live. You just need more fetches.
Right.
Amen.
Amen.
More fetches. Foil fetches.
Foil fetches.
Foil fetches. So much money.
That's what I'm shooting. I want 2 play sets of foils for each one. Man.
All right. So what else we're trying to get up is we're trying to get up a pack for us to open and to look through. Something we've been trying to do each time. We've kind of forgotten the past 2 times. We've done it. This will be the 3rd time out of 5 episodes. So we're above 500.
60%.
Yeah, we're doing
I can do
decent.
that percentage. Boom.
Boom.
1245.
I'm turning off my my video so I can actually keep this on.
All right, good. I'm just gonna share my screen. Screen share. And boom, here we go. So here is our packs currently. We got our rare is the Chain Veil. Common, Back to Nature. We got Rose Glove. Here we got Staff the Wild Magus, so green spells. We got Shadowcloak Vampire. We have Inferno Fist. Plummet, Shaman of Springs, Oriscos, Swiftclaw, Raise the Alarm, Divination, Frostlinks, Research Assistant, and Black Cat. The first card that I'm going to is Frostlinks. That's where my mind's going first off from all these cards.
Nope.
Oh, what's your choice?
I don't know. I mean, Frostlinks is fine, but I like Inferno Fist. That and it's like the only red card in there.
It is the only red card. That is true.
Is it? Yeah, like red is like the best color, and if you can like make your opponent not, or your guy to your left or whatever, not pick red, and you get all the red cards, like that's just a dream. It's like the best color in the set.
That's fair.
That is fair.
I guess my thing is I've loved Frostlink since I've used it. Eric's still doesn't know all these cards yet, so he's still.
Yeah, I don't know my cards. I've been out of Magic for so long.
Problem is I don't know how he's gonna get back into it either.
Yes, I will.
I said how.
How? Buy tons of boxes of cons.
Con.
Woo!
I'm gonna have to say my first pick. I like what both of you have said. I don't want that to be my deciding factor, though. I want to have thought of it for myself.
All right, next time we'll
But
say anything.
honestly, I'm gonna say Frostlink. No. No, I'm not gonna say Frostlinks. I'm gonna say Raise the Alarm. I like Raise the Alarm.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Raise Arm's not bad. It's not bad.
It just depends on what deck you want to play.
I like the white-blue control deck to be honest. Usually it's like an aggro-y.
And I like white, weenie, aggro-y stuff in Limited.
In limited,
In
let's
Limited.
say.
In Limited. In Constructed, I am well, not the exact opposite. 'Cause I'm still playing creatures. I'm still playing Turn Guys Sideways. So I'm just playing a little bit slower Turn Guys Sideways. Some mid-range, some monsters,
Yeah.
some beats.
He is pretty good at playing in limited, playing white weenies though.
White Wings is where I go.
Say in the what was it? I think it was the Dark Ascension pre-release. He played Boros, and that was really good. So, all right. So that's what we think. If you guys have any comments or any suggestions, do you think, hey, you guys are absolute idiots. You should play the Back to Nature. I'm not quite sure why you think we should play Back to Nature.
Destroy all those enchantments, you know?
Take the chain veil. Take the chain veil.
I'm not taking Chain Veil Unlimited.
That card's awful.
That ain't happening in
I'm not
Limited.
playing.
Oh, we got to win while slaying the chain veil, don't we?
Huh? We have to what? Windmill Slam? No,
So we got to win while slaying the chain veil, don't we? I mean,
no.
come on.
I think we need a windmill slam to Black Cat.
That was actually my number 2. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I was being facetious.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
I was kidding.
Okay.
Love
Anyway.
it. Come on. Green Destroy thing?
I wasn't. I love it.
All right, whatever. Anyways, so if you think that we're idiots and we say this Shaman, okay, Shaman Spring Springs is actually a fair.
Okay, let's clarify that.
All right,
a little bit.
apparently I'm not.
If you think we're idiots about our picks,
No, actually, if you think we're idiots, you can just tell us. We'll probably think you're an idiot in return, but you know, whatever. So let's comment.
Wow,
If
right.
you think you have any suggestions on what card you would choose first. If you have any thoughts on anything we talked about today, whether it be the tournament results or the spoilers we looked over, just let us know. And as for that, I believe that's all I have to say today. Colin?
I just want to say once again, cons. Shoot, wow, the set is looking real good. And I always say, like at the end of these episodes, play more Commander. And after this set comes out, Commander is going to be really, really fun. And it already is. It's just going to get better. So get fetches, get foil fetches, show them off. Show your bling, play some Modern.
You want to play one of them?
Just have a great time.
All right.
Raise your banner.
Alright. So that is all from us. All from us at WUBRG Weekly. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and tap those islands. Or forests, or just tap the lands.
Tap the forests.
Tap stuff.
But not the rainforest.
Just tap
We want
stuff.
to preserve those.
Whoops.
Okay, tap those. Alright, bye.